Hey family, hey fam, how you guys doing out there? Anyhow, alright man, so I think today's Friday. Oh boy, I gotta go meet up with some friends tonight after work. I'm just getting ready for work, breakfast, breakfast of champions. Anyways, I got nothing. I just wanted to do a video. Since for some reason people are watching my videos, I don't know why. They probably hate watching my videos. It's probably like people are like looking up my name. People from my past are looking up my name on those, you can go online. If you spend money, you can go online and you can spy on people. Like, what are people doing on the internet? You just type their name in the thing and it'll show you all their social media stuff, right? So I have people from my past that are like subscribed to my channel. People that I don't know. I imagine like my dad is curious about me because he's retired, and so he's typed my name in, and then it shows all my social media, and so then he found my channel and he's just secretly watching my I haven't talked to my dad for a long time, dude. I don't know. I got nothing against him, but my dad doesn't really want anything to do with me. Apparently, I don't know. I don't care. I've already, worked all that stuff out internally. I don't really care what my family thinks or doesn't think of me, They're just people like everyone else, Everybody has their own opinion. I can't live up to other people's expectations of me, I've never been able to live up to expectations that people have put on me. Actually, my dad named me after a famous football player. And looking back, now that I'm older, I realize the reason that my dad named me after a famous football player is because that was his expectation of me, was that I was to become the next famous football player. That didn't happen, obviously, as you can see. I'm just a poor bum. I'm just a bum. I'm just a loser. I'm not a famous football player. So that's probably why he doesn't want to have anything to do with me. I'm poor. One paycheck away from being homeless. My family cut me off when I turned 18. And if you talk to my family, they'll say it's because, I was doing drugs and stuff, and so I was a bad person, so they had to cut me off. But that was during the Say No to Drugs era, with Nancy Reagan, when the Say No to Drugs, when they were telling everybody that, if your children smoked marijuana, they were demon possessed. Well, now my dad smokes marijuana, ironically, Back when I was a teenager, I'm Gen X. And so all Gen Xers were smoking, dirt weed. And so, my parents knew I was smoking dirt weed on the weekends and stuff. And so, of course, Ronald Reagan and Nancy Reagan told my parents that if your children smoke marijuana, they're the devil's children. They're of the devil. It's funny. Yeah, it's funny. Now my parents smoke weed, Yeah, times they are a changing, just like Bob Dylan says, the times they are a changing. Now it's illegal to smoke weed and shit. Anyways, whatever. So, oh yeah, no, my parents. Well, actually, my parents they threw me to the wolves. Before I turned 18. They had thrown me to the wolves. They're like, fuck this kid. This kid's a total piece of shit. And so, of course, when I turned 18, they just locked the door. They're like, get the fuck out of here, you fucking loser. That was my parents. But, I learned a lot that 10 years living on the street. I had to learn to survive on my own without anyone's help. No friends, no family, no nothing. Just me and a hobo satchel slung over my back. I had to figure it all out on my own. I didn't have any parents to help me with jack fucking shit, And then many years later, of course, in your lifetime, you'll go through phases where you'll feel like it's your responsibility to reach out to your parents and try to amend the past and stuff. And so, of course, I've gone through all that. And my parents, they're just like, fuck you. You're just a loser, bro. So after experiencing that, I just, it's like, what's the point, My parents have written me off as a loser before I even came out of my mom's womb, so. And I don't really hold any grudges against them or whatever. It's just like, whatever, So, like, when my parents die, I won't be getting any inheritance or anything. Which I don't care, Why would I give a fuck? All that gold don't mean a thing, as J.J. Cale said. You ever listen to J.J. Cale? If you have good taste in music, you know who J.J. Cale is. And that's what J.J. Cale said. All that gold don't mean a thing. So I don't really give a fuck, I don't care about any of that, Now I haven't had any family at all. Never. My parents were trying to kill each other before I was even born. My mom and my dad were in a very, very... Oh, it was a war. There was a war going on between my mom and my dad before I was even born. So I was born into a war. and it hasn't ended. Like, I talk to him. I don't talk to my dad because there's no point in it, But I do talk to my mom, and because for some weird reason my mom pretends like she wants to have something to do with me, which I'll talk to her, maybe once a month or something. Again, I got nothing against my parents, really. Shit happens. I personally had to learn to forgive people, or try to, because resentment is like is a poison. Is worse poison than cigarettes. Yes, there are worse poisons than cigarettes. Resentment and hatred being being a couple. So yeah, you can look down on me because I smoke cigarettes, but there's worse poisons than nicotine. I can guarantee you that. But anyways, yeah. So I talk to my mom every once in a while. It's because of that thing. We're conditioned to, oh well, you only have one mom and you only have one dad, and it's like whatever. But I don't have anything to lose to talk to my parents. Talk to my family. Not really. So I'll talk to them and stuff, whatever. I got a couple of stepbrothers and a stepsister. I don't talk to them, and a stepmom, But anyways, Yeah, no. These these people from my past that I haven't talked to for decades, like all the people that I went to school with, all growing up, I haven't seen or talked to any of them people like forever, dude. I moved around all my life, you know. I never went to one school for more than a couple of years before I moved. So I would have all the whatever friends I would make in school. Within a year or two, I would move, and so then I would lose all contact with those people, and I'd have to make new friends. And after 5 years of that, you just give up on even making friends. It's like fuck everybody, People are fucking retards. Fuck them all. Kill them all. And so, anyways, yeah. So yeah, I'm not I'm not a big people person, but as I was saying in previous video, I understand the value and necessity in interpersonal relations with others. In order to be a loner, it requires interpersonal relations with other people. So, and I value being a loner. I really it's a very important thing for me to be a loner, and so because it's an important part of my life, and I have learned that interpersonal relations with others is how one maintains a successful status of being a loner. You have to have interpersonal relations. So, but yeah, as far as any and all my friends from my past, growing up and going to high school and middle school and all that stuff, I haven't talked to any of them people for fucking like 30 years, and including my family. By the time I was 18, no contact with my family for the most part. But like I said, my mom, like, I don't know, I think she feels guilty or something, and so she wants to like try to do whatever. But it is what it is. Again, I don't have anything against any of those people, my so-called family, all those people that I, was supposed friends with. I don't have anything against them, but it's like, what's the point? They're just people like everybody else. I love humankind. It's people I can't stand. So I don't really. But anyways, it's funny because because having a social media account, it's like all these people from my past that I don't have anything to do with, that I've cut ties. They all have access to my social media. All they have to do is look up my name, spend whatever it is, $30 a month or whatever ridiculous price it is to fucking like cyber stalk people. But so anyways, what else we got going on? Yeah, so I got to go to work pretty soon. Got to go to my slave labor job, because this is America, man, the land of freedom and constitutional rights and all this bullshit. Fucking constitutional rights, bro. Give me a break. That's a laugh, isn't it? Okay. Oh, well, this is still the freest country in the whole wide universe. That's what they say. They always got to come up with some lame excuse for all their bullshit. Well, this is still the best place in the whole wide world. Yeah, that's what everybody. That's what Israel says about their country. That's what China says. That's what all these other fucking countries say, the same thing. Oh, their country is the most bestest country in the whole wide universe. That's part of the fucking propaganda that they pump to keep all the people brainwashed and, got to keep cleaning them fucking toilets, Whatever helps you sleep at night, That's what helps you sleep at night, Those damn Jewish space lasers, they're holding the USA back, man. That's what it's those damn Jewish space lasers, the filthy space lasers. That's what the problem is. It isn't an internal problem, it's someone else's problem way over there, someone else's fault, you know? The blame game. It's the Jews. The blame game. Those damn homeless people. I'm so sick of the blame game. It's always the blame game. Never, hold yourself accountable. Always blame someone else for it. Anytime there's a problem in your life, always blame someone else. The Jewish space lasers, the homeless people. It's always someone else's fault. Don't ever hold yourself accountable ever. There's always all kinds of people to blame. If nothing else, just start blaming homeless people for stuff. Then that'll take the attention away from you having to hold accountability for your poor life decisions. All you have to do is look at those homeless people, the poor life decisions they're making. Just the blame game. Always project everything out onto any and everyone around you, and look for the most vulnerable people that can't defend themselves, and blame it on them because they don't have any means to defend themselves. So you always look for the person who's perceived as the weakest, and you project the blame onto them. That way, it'll never come back to you because they're too weak. They're too weak to defend themselves, and they deserve it if they're weak. Yeah. The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Blessed is he who in the name of charity and goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness, for he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee.